Last year, I had a really dumb idea. I wanted to create a one-of-a-kind piece to show off on my desk. This series chronicles my ridiculous journey. Welcome to the Apple Cinema Display Conversion Project. Let's set my design goals. Reproduce as much of the original Apple Cinema Display's software functionality as possible. That includes brightness control integration as well as sound control integration. Working integrated speakers, a functional webcam, working microphone, integrated USB 3.0 hub, all 3 ports functional, original Apple Cinema Display power plug, no alterations to the body of the Apple Cinema Display. It must all fit inside of the monitor. Multiple video inputs, including HDMI and even possibly 2 display ports. Now, I know that was a lot, but let's go back to the beginning so you can understand how I got here in the first place. Why the Apple Cinema Display? It's no secret to the people around me that I enjoy Apple's products. I edit on a 2015 MacBook Pro with Final Cut. I've been through 3 iPhones, my Plex media server runs on a Mac Mini, and my headphones of choice are Beats Solo 3s for the W1 chip. An Apple Display is right up my alley. Small problem though, the price of Apple displays. New or used, displays from Apple are exorbitantly expensive considering my budget and use cases. At the time of the conception of this project in early 2019, the LED cinema displays and Thunderbolt display were still going for anywhere between like $300 and $700 at best. So it got me thinking, is there a way I could get the styling of an Apple display without the massive price tag? That thought brought me around YouTube to a few different creators and projects. For example, old iMacs can be used in target display mode. Small problem though, the 27-inch ones are too expensive. The 21.5-inch ones would be a bit of a downgrade from my primary 24-inch monitors, and any of the Thunderbolt iMacs would only be compatible with other Macs. I wanted something just a little more versatile than that. That's when I stumbled onto the PowerPC Hub. Back in 2015, he posted a video on converting an old, broken iMac into a monitor, including a USB hub and working webcam, by sticking another monitor inside the body of the iMac. He even wired up the original power button to function as the monitor power button. I loved this concept. So I started looking around on eBay and locally for damaged or broken iMacs. I didn't come up with anything great because of shipping costs, but I did come across an interesting option. A local photo studio had posted a 24-inch Apple Cinema display in pristine condition for $35 because the monitor wasn't showing an image. Shipping cost was prohibitive, but I shot him a message on eBay to see if he'd be willing to arrange for a local pickup. He was down, so I drove 45 minutes out to meet him, handed him $35 cash, and was on my way home with my heavier than expected prize. I was locked in now. 24-inch display. 16 by... Oh. The monitor's 16 by 10. That's fine. I love the 16 by 10 display on my MacBook Pro. It'll be dope to have for a desktop monitor too. New problem. 16 by 10 monitors are kinda hard to find for a cheaper price. And now I've got to find one that's thin enough to stick in the also thinner than I thought Apple Cinema display. I did a ton of research on possibilities, but most of it's now lost to time because I only decided to start documenting this project after I was already part of the way through. My bad. But here's what I do remember. Most of my options were Dell Ultrasharps. They've got 16 by 10 options available, integrated USB hubs, and they're pretty thin. So my first find was the Dell U2412M. Pretty abundantly available used and cheap. The input options kind of sucked though, and I realized the USB hub was only 2.0. It was out. Now, the Asus VS24AHP was another option that came up. 16 by 10, super thin, and HDMI capable. No DisplayPort though, and no USB hub. It was my backup plan if I couldn't find anything else. But then I stumbled onto the Dell U2415. It had everything. 24-inch, 16 by 10, 1200p display, multiple HDMI and DisplayPort inputs, integrated USB 3.0 hub, and a thin body. It was perfect. Except for one little issue again: price. It's a professional class display with the price tag to match. Just like a used Apple Cinema display, anyway. I got really lucky on eBay once again, and found someone selling a slightly damaged unit with one faulty HDMI port for 95 bucks. A week later, it arrived. I wish I had some footage of it, but like I said, I decided to start documenting this project way too late. One of the most important features that I tested out on the monitor before tearing it apart, though, was something called DDC-CI, or the Display Data Channel Command Interface. This little feature was what gave me the confidence that my design goals might be possible. DDC-CI gives me access to controlling the various settings in the monitor without needing to invoke the on-screen display. I found a tool called Monitor Control, which let me control the brightness of the Dell U2415 with the brightness keys on my MacBook. With that, the pieces were in place. My goal was clear. I had to integrate the Dell U2415 into the 24-inch Apple Cinema display. The Apple Cinema display conversion project had begun. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, drop me a like or comment down below with your thoughts or suggestions. I know it's kind of a departure from what this channel was mostly based on, but I figured I'd give it a shot anyway. In the next part, I'll be going over the present-day aftermath of my teardowns from both monitors, since I don't have any footage from their individual disassemblies. Hope you enjoyed. Toodles.